Alright, and we're back with another video, but not just any video, it's the first video of the Diary of a Dollar General Cashier. And before I start the video, I want to just say some things. One of those things is retail is hard, especially around Christmas. And this isn't just me complaining, but like I feel like anyone who works in retail can attest that it's a very, very tedious job that will really test your limits. And around Christmas, it doesn't really get any better. Let me tell you why, especially working a chain like I do. You would think around Christmas time corporate would help you out, but really they just do something stupid like having the store open an hour earlier and close an hour later. And now you would think that's fine. They're just like, trying to rake in more profits during the Christmas season. No, that usually doesn't happen because when we open an hour earlier, no one comes in that extra hour. And when we close an hour earlier, a close hour later, no one comes in that 11 to 12 hour slot or whatever. 10 to 11. Let me stop that. It's 10 to 11. No one comes in at any of those times, which is very, very fun having to sit there and do nothing. But man, I never thought retail would be this hard, man. Like, to all my retail workers, big hats off to you guys, man. Especially this Christmas season. This shit's not fun. It's not fun at all. So, if you guys are in the store and you guys are checking out, just tell your cashier thank you. You appreciate what they do. Like, that shit really goes a long way. Like, I would like that. I get that sometimes. Like, it's a nice thing to tell someone that they're appreciated, especially with such a tedious job. Then that's just not for any retail or people like me, but it's just like for anybody. You see someone working hard, just tell them they're appreciated, because what's it called? You don't know if they're on the brink, because sometimes I'd be thinking about quitting my job after some bullshit. But let's get started. Where do I want to start with the diary of a Dollar General cashier? Let's start with customers. That should be one of the most obvious things. The customers, they vary. Sometimes they're rude, sometimes they're really cool, and sometimes I'll have regulars that I will have conversations with. And those regulars, man, they really help you out, man, because it's cool to see them. Y'all have y'all little conversation, little chit chat, then you get them out of there. But with just retail, it's always the mixed bunch. Like, you're never gonna get the same type of people from one day to the next. Like, one day you can have someone come in, or have a lot of people come in just generally chill and just overall nice people. Or the next day you can just have someone who would like to flex their entitlement at a dollar store, which is always cool. You flexing your big old customer muscles at a 19-year-old kid who just works the register, which is always fun. Which doesn't actually happen as often as you think, with all the Karens gone wild. Oh, that sounds not pleasant to look at. But all these people just going wild in stores, it doesn't happen as often as you think. But when it does happen, it's always a spectacle, because most of the time they end up holding up the lines. And when the lines get held up, not only do you have to struggle to get that line down after she leaves, you have to struggle with her. Like in my first video, I told you some woman kept on complaining about not getting a receipt, and then she just started bitching at me and being rude when I tried to get her paper. Told her there wasn't any paper, and once I got the receipt out, it chewed up her receipt. And I've had many other stories like that. If you go to my first video, I think it's called Podcast Demo, I talked about a woman who held up a line because she was trying to get discounts on something that really wasn't supposed to be discounted. We told her a customer, actually, let me explain. We have a discount table. When you first walk in, it's a white little table, little picnic table, whatever, and it's just stuff that's there on discount, toys, primarily toys that don't really sell. And she goes and gets some stuff there, and she's like, all right, I only get these these are for sale, right? And I'm like, I don't know. Shoe fly. And and she was like, are these stuff for sale? I was like, you know what, well, look, And I looked and I told her they weren't for sale. There was no one in line at this point, keep that in mind. So there was nothing that came up for sale. And then she was like, well, they're on the table, so you know they're for sale. I'm like, I legit saw a customer walk to the toy section, not want it, put it there, then leave. So most of the time, like, customers put stuff there because they're lazy. It's just sad fact, they're lazy. And she goes back and she's like, well, I want my discount because if it's on the discount table, it should be discounted. And I'm like, it's not discounted though. It's someone put that there. Like, it would ring up as discounted because it was like, I don't know, like 2 items, get it like 70% off or some shit. Now I see why she was fighting so hard for it. Shit. And it was like nothing even major. It was like some shitty dollhouse that would like break if you dropped it from like 2 inches. That was like $10. And like a ball, like a little bouncy, not a bouncy ball, like one of those like little plastic balls. They're about like, you could throw it at someone, but it wouldn't do much damage kind of balls. But well, she was just like, I need this discount because it was on the table. It's supposed to be on discount. And my manager came over, and this is my manager before what's it called? I quit. Not I quit, but she quit. And boy, my manager had some sass, bro. She has a mouth on her, man. Because he's from Louisiana. And you know how them niggas from Louisiana roll. They're, oh boy, man. Raging Cajuns. And I went over, I was like, you know what? I'm going to find my manager. And as I said that, I put my earbuds in and started laughing. Because it's like, you're here for like, this is like 10 minutes in. And you're fighting. Like, you're really fighting for that toy. And I find my manager and I tell her what's going on. And she's like, she's really doing this? I'm like, yeah. And then she goes over and handles it. She just gives her the discount. And then she gives me like a haha, I got you type face. I'm like, I really don't care, dude. Like, I'm not the one in here fighting for toys at Dollar General. Like, I'm not fighting for discounts. Like, I could have bought those for you. But it's people like that come in. And other times you have people that come in and like, you know, they're not rude, just average customer. You just talk to them. And just some customers are like disgusting, like absolutely disgusting. And I'm not talking about like in appearance, like, or hygiene, even though some of you guys really just like, Jesus Christ, y'all niggas stink. But like they're like terrible. Like I remember I've seen a customer walk around the store and they were eating like Jack's. If you don't know what Jack's is, that's a fast food retailer. It's a fast food restaurant in Alabama. It's definitely in Alabama. I don't think it's out of Alabama. I think it's one of those Alabama exclusive things. And they put down their fry box down somewhere, like in the middle of like a shelf. They kept on going, put their burger wrapper somewhere else, and like put a drink down. And I was like, wow, really? And it was crazy because it's just like, do you like not have any home training? Because if my mom saw me do that shit, like she's kicking me in the dick. And it's like, it's just like, you gotta like have some decency to yourself. Like, you're really not only like just walking around eating, getting pickles all over the place, fucking bubble baths, you're fucking putting your wrappers on random shelves. Like I've had to find these wrappers because I didn't follow her for real. Like, I don't really care. But I saw her come in with the Jacks and she didn't even buy anything. That's the worst part. She didn't even buy anything. She fucking ate in Dollar General and just left her shit there. Now I'm pissed. Can't even be that pissed because it was like a while ago. But it's just customers, man. It's a mixed bag. Like, customers will do a lot for no reason, and it's just dummy dumb. This makes me go But besides that, customers, it just comes with the job. Either they're really cool, they're really cool, they don't talk, but they don't give you any trouble. They give you trouble, or they're absolutely disgusting. And speaking of absolutely disgusting, let's talk about thieves. Thieves, especially like in the Dollar General I work at, generally are not very smart. Because what they do is that they steal, and like they steal with the camera on them, and they just don't care. And the worst part about it is it's just like the management doesn't care either. Because like, well, there's one time they saw someone stealing, and then they made them pay for like a whole thing of Dr. Pepper. But like, these guys steal and they get bolder and bolder. Like, I wrote about this one time in like a little short story called Night Shift or some shit. And this customer stole a 6-pack of soap, only took 1 bar, and put all the other pieces of soap around the store. And it's just like, why would you do that? And like, there's customers who come in and just take shit out the fucking like cooler and start drinking that shit. And I'm just like what I mean by cooler is like where you keep the drinks out and shit. But like I legit just see customers just like stealing. And then you're like, well, Tokyo, why don't you stop them? Like, I can't, because if I was to stop them, I would use my 290 plus pound frame and put them through the wall. Because that shit's annoying as hell. And we have shitty loss prevention at Dollar General. Holy shit. I don't even think we have loss prevention. Like, that's the crazy part about it. And these niggas just come in here and just steal. Like, I was working I got transferred to another store for a day. And, like, someone told me the same thing. Like, they just steal. Like, they steal and just, like, put it back. Like, if it's, like, a pack of shit. Like, let's say someone someone stole a pack of noodles and it came in like a bundle. They would steal 1 out of the 12 and just leave. And I was just like, if you're gonna steal, you might as well just go for it, man. Like, if you're gonna steal 1 bar of soap out of 6 or 1 ramen pack out of 12, you might as well just take more. Because 1 or 12, you're still getting the same amount like, you're still getting arrested. Even though I don't really think anyone got arrested, like, for stealing at my store, or there was no repercussions. Like, one time, there were, like, these girls came in with backpacks and just started dumping shit in there, and they just said, hey, if you see, like, 2 black girls in here, don't say anything about that. If you see 2 black girls come in here with backpacks on, just stop them and tell them that, like, they can't come in. I was like, why? I was like, oh, we caught them stealing. I'm like, you guys do anything about it? We are. We're not letting them back in. And it's just stuff like that, which is like crazy to me, because at our store, we invested in new lights, like big old, like, bright lights, like spotlights outside of our store for at night, instead of for like better security. And that always was something that bothered me, because I work with a bunch of women. And not to say anything against them, but if someone was to come in and want to do anything to them, because I usually leave when they're counting. Well, after they're done counting and they still have shit to do, especially for the manager. I feel like anyone could just come into the store, because our security is shit. And if anyone wanted to steal and wanted to get away with it, they could, because our security is shit. But, you know, we got them bright ass lights outside though, so at least we'll see you when you come in. And what else with these customers, man? These kids, boy howdy. There's some kids who come across the street from Tabernacle. No one knows where that is unless you live in Alabama or in the Jefferson County school system, or just go to Tabernacle. There's some kids from Tabernacle that come in every Sunday, and oh boy, are they just like the biggest shits. Like, they come in and run around the store, like literally high schoolers. They come in and run around the store. And one time we thought they stole shit, and that's when I got my promotion to theft prevention, and now I can tackle people. But We thought they busted open a can of Ajax and just spread it on the floor, but we couldn't prove it. We knew they did it, but we couldn't prove it because the camera skipped, or the camera just didn't catch it, which is very, very, very fun. It's just like, man, it's. I would have to make an hour-long video to tell you about all the customers that come in. I have to do so much generalization in this video, like it's crazy. And there's another one before I want to talk about before I head out of here. Parents that are shitty parents. And I feel like I should never say that. Like, oh, you're such a shit parent. But I've seen good parents, and I've seen you. Not you in general. You're cute. Come here. But I've seen parents that are like really bad in my store. They come in and their child just runs wild. Like their child is Hulk Hogan in the 90s, bro. Hulkamania running wild. Like they just run, and if they don't get their way, they're gonna cry. I had one instance where this family came in. It was like a family of 6, and it was like mom, dad, 3 brothers and one small little sister who was like probably 4. And I watched the whole thing go down because the store was closing. I had to recover, and I literally followed them. That sounds really weird because of just what they let their child get away with. Like their child was like throwing a tantrum, throwing shit off the shelves, grabbing shit off the shelves and throwing it at her brothers, while also continuing to throw a tantrum, and her parents did nothing. They just looked at her. They looked defeated. They looked like Coraline's dad in that scene. If you watch Coraline, they looked like Coraline's dad when he was on the computer in that first little scene. And he just looked drained. Like, Jesus, man, like they were drained as fuck. And it was like to the point where like those teenagers were flinching at a little girl because they were scared they were gonna get hit by something. And it's really wild. And when they got done shopping, she was up there throwing a tantrum. Like she was screaming. She was screaming bloody fucking murder. And she was throwing shit around. Like when her parents put something on there and it was in reach, she would like throw it on the ground. And here's what pissed me off. Her parents were like, oh, are we gonna get her something? We're like, yeah, we're gonna get some candy. I'm like, what? No. What? We're rewarding this behavior? I'm just like, wow, shit is crazy. And they gave her like some big ass fucking king size. You gave her like 2 king size Hershey bars or some shit. And I'm like, so not only did she run her hand along the fucking shelves and knock so much shit off, she threw shit at you, at your kids, screamed, just threw a tantrum in the 10 minutes she was there, and she gets candy. All I gotta say is some people just don't need to be parents, because if that was me and my mom was there, also a family member, oh boy, I would have gotten beaten in the middle of the store. I would have been fucked up, bro. Shit, man, I would have got my ass beat, and then I would have got my ass beat in the car. I would have got my ass beat at home, and they would have took away my TV, my game, everything. Then I got my ass beat again just because they felt like it. Ooh, that sounds terribly abusive, but it's not. Trust me. Just beat your kids, bro. 2020, and yeah, it's just crazy shit like that happens all the time in my Dollar General. And it's fun. Like, it's always fun when a new person comes in, because it's like a game of what am I trying to think of? It's not like Guess Who. It's like a Kinder egg, you know. You could get a nice little prize, or you can get something shitty. And that's what I equate the customers to, a nice little Kinder egg. But that's that. That's the first entry into the diary, man. What else I want to say? Oh, what's it called? 2020 is almost coming to an end, and I hope you all have a really good 2021. And tomorrow is going to be Christmas Eve. I don't know if I want to post this tonight or I want to post this on Christmas Eve, but when I do post it, if I don't tell you, Merry Christmas, have a good Christmas Eve, have a Happy New Year, and what's it called? Yeah, you're loved, man. I love you. I love you, and you're validated, man. Like you're valid, and you know, be happy, man. Be comfortable, be confident, because you know. It's cool. I tried to be sentimental, bro. And I failed. But for real, you know, you're loved. Take it easy, man, and be kind to yourself, especially on Christmas. And if you're cool with your family like that, don't miss out. Hang out with your family if you can, or if your family's doing a gathering. Wear a mask, yada yada yada, and Gavin Newsom, and and shit like that. But besides that, I'm out. You guys, please take it easy, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.